So we've just split up. We've now got the top two floors of the building, and I am doing my solo in the very top. So the equipment I've brought up with me is down on the floor just by the door there. I have the vibration detector, so if anything moves on the floor it will light up. Just on the top there I have the K2 meter, and down on the floor just there I have a REM pod. I'm joined by various mannequins. There's something across the screen there, but I think it could be dust. So I'm just going to get quiet for a few minutes just to get a feel for the room. My name is Shell, and I'm not here to disrespect you or cause you discomfort or harm in any way. I'm just here to communicate with you. K2, K2. Thank you if that's you. Thank you. Can you light it all the way up to the red? Thank you for coming forward and showing yourself to me through the K2. Yeah, it's going again. Hoping the camera's picking it up. So I just want to know that you're here with me. I'd really appreciate it if you could make a sound, tap on something, move something. K2 seems to have stopped for now. So as I was saying, my name is Shell, and I like to come to places like this and make contact and communicate with those spirits that are still here. Can you do something just to let me know that you're with me? Make a sound. K2 seems to have stopped completely now. Come forward. Use my energy. Make a sound. Move something in the room. Swear to God though, if one of those dolls move, I really will shit myself. The spirit that lit up my K2 device, the little black box that I'm pointing the camera at, that I'm looking at right now, if you can do that again, then I can use a different piece of equipment to communicate with you. But I just need to know that you're still here with me. So if you can light up that box one more time, then I'll get another piece of equipment out to communicate with you. I've got some rods that you can manipulate. Light up the device for me, please. Just move towards the box, that's all you have to do. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is lighting up. Stopped again. But I'm going to take that as a yes to my request. Okay, so the spirit that lit up my black box, can you move the rods to show me your yes indication? So if I ask you a question and your response is a yes, can you show me how you'll move the rods? We'll cross them. You know, the one in my right hand, there's a real pressure. I was pointing right behind me at those two dolls. Okay, I'm just going to straighten them out. And if you can show me an indication of a no response. So that's good, that's complete opposite, and they've spread them completely apart. Yeah, it feels really, the one in my right hand feels really heavy, which is strange because I mean you literally hold them very lightly. Okay, can I ask you, are you a male spirit? Yes. Can I ask you if you only reside in this room or do you move to other areas? So if you only reside in this room, cross them, and if you move around the museum, spread them apart. Okay, so you just stay in this room. Are you attached to the building itself, or one of the objects in the room. So if it's the building, can you cross them? And if it's the objects in the room, can you spread them apart? So it's the building. So this is quite an old building that's been turned into a Robin Hood museum in the centre of Nottingham. I'm not sure on the dates. Did you die in this building? Did you die here? They're like wobbling from side to side. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. It's almost like it either doesn't want to answer or doesn't know. It's also it's really gone icy cold in here. Can you point the rods to whereabouts you're standing in the room, please? So the one to my left is pointed directly behind me by those dolls. Again, where it was pointing when I first started. I'm going to turn the camera that way and see if we can get any activity on the K2. So this doll in particular is that it's pointing at. Oh God, yeah, 2 spikes. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Oh, and again. Thank you for that. And again. Can you light it all the way up to the red for me? I wonder if it's like... Can you make a sound for me? Just heard a knock behind the camera. Yeah, that's proper going off. I don't know if the camera's picking it up though. Oh wow, wow, that's going up right up to red. Okay, so I've turned night mode off, so hopefully we can pick up the spikes on the K2 a little bit better, because the IR light on the camera does tend to... Thank you. So it's really interesting that the dowsing rod pointed to that exact point, and we've had activity on the K2 right up to the red light. Can you make it go all the way to the red again for me, please? All the way to red. Come on, nearly. So, to the man who's been communicating with me, are you happy for us to be here talking to you? Yes. So, are you a friendly spirit? Yes. Are there any spirits in this building that are not friendly? That's keeping them crossed, so I'm going to go for a yes. In fact, it's crossing them a bit more now. K2 went off again then. Is it possible for you to make a sound so that I can hear you? No. Oh, please. yes. I'm waiting with great anticipation. Make a nice big sound for me. I don't know if it was just my eyes, but it looked like the camera moved then. I can hear shuffling. Now, I'm the only one on the top floor. There's only this one room up here. There's a small little landing just outside the door there. And I've just heard shuffling on the landing. And a knocking. Really faint, but there was a knocking and the K2 is going off again. Thank you if that was you. Thank you so much for communicating with me. Thank you for setting off my devices. But I think it is now time for me to switch rooms with one of the other guys, so hopefully you'll enjoy talking to them as well. But thank you for your time. Right, time to switch locations.
Hi guys, Fran again, and I'm now in the attic of the Robin Hood experience in Nottingham. And as I've come in here, I've kind of heard constant creaking, which seems to be coming from around the area of these mannequins here. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but there's shuffling as well. Like I can hear like this shuffling going on in the room, and creaking. So I'm just going to take a seat, and there are. So I'm just going to get some equipment out. I could have sworn I saw like a. I was about to wave and I thought I saw a figure on the camera, but I think it is just something that's in the scene that I'm picking up on the edge of, not an actual kind of. Oh, yeah, that kind of got my attention there, because from way back here, I'm looking at the screen on the camera, that looked as if it was. It looked like a childlike figure. But as I come up to the camera, I can realise, no, that's something that's in the background and isn't what I first thought it was. So I am going to, again, I'm going to get the EMF, and just as I got the camera focused on it, hey, there we go. Hello there. Something is setting off the EMF detector in this corner. Thank you for coming and communicating with me. Do you want to come forward and make that go off again? And I'm trying to sort of, as I was doing that, trying to fathom what it is that's made it go off. What could, have a spirit attached to it in this room? Because obviously some things in here are just, made as props, and there are other things that may have attachments. And I have noticed actually in the corner there is a sword by a child mannequin, and I'm wondering if it's a sword. Spirit, are you attached to the sword? As soon as I said that blipped. You're attached to the sword. Were you the wielder of this sword? Again, blip to say, yes, I am the wielder of this sword. Okay. And I take it, that would be quite a heavy sword. I'm taking those blips as that's, yes, I'm agreeing with you. That's, so you are quite a strong male. You're a strong man. You're a warrior. Or a soldier. Or maybe you're not a soldier. Maybe you are a rebel. Oh, you've gone quiet on me now. I don't like it when spirits go quiet on me, because it makes me think they're kind of plotting. Are you plotting? Or did you used to plot? Were you someone who used to kind of fight for a cause? Again, it's just, I feel like maybe their interest has gone elsewhere. They're like, no, I'm not talking to you, there's something else more interesting in the building going on, bye. See ya, kind of thing. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that. But that, I think, has proved it's one spirit. Because if it, yes, thank you, Sven couldn't answer on. Okay, put all your energy into making the two go off at the same time, please. So I can verify that it's not a problem with when I'm going off. Okay, make the two go off, please, not just the one. Looks like it's trying. Yeah, there we go. I think it's finding it easy to make one go off, but it's trying with the other one as well. Can you make them both go off the same level, please? So if you were to put, say, your presence or your hand in between the two, like I am here, right? If you try and touch my hand, then it's going to make the two go off equally. Right? Try and split your energy between the two devices instead of concentrating on this one. Remember, there's this one here because I want to make sure, right, we can get a clear answer. So, I think we have established you are attached to the sword in the corner, yes? You're attached to the sword in the corner. Thank you. And you are a strong warrior. Yes. You must be to be able to lift that sword. Yes. I know, you're trying to talk to me, and at the moment I don't really have, because this spirit is putting so much energy into this, it's not trying to communicate with me directly like some spirits do. I think you're used to having paranormal investigators talk to you, aren't you? Yes, you're used to the equipment. You know how to make lights go off. Right, please stick to just answering when I've asked a question. Leave the devices alone for no response. Touch them for a yes. Do you understand? I think you do. Okay, right. So, did you fight for people's freedom and rights? Yes. As I don't think you worked for our government, did you? I think you worked against them. Yes. And somehow I think you're actually to do with the castle across the road. Am I right? Thank you. So I'm going to actually sit back over here. I'm going to ask you very nicely if you can make that new device go off that I've set down. Because you're obviously very, very good at making the EMF go off. Can you try your hardest to touch one of those antennas? Thank you. Come on. Touch the new box. Or if I show you what happens, will you copy me? Can we play a little game? I get the feeling that the person up here is quite young. And I don't mean like child young, I mean kind of, I'd say late teens, kind of young, but you know, they're still childlike in a way. They are kind of, but they're not quite, you know, a fully fledged adult. I get kind of maybe sort of 17, 18 kind of age. And this room is set up to look like an old kind of really, really old courtroom. So we've got kind of I have to grab my torch as well because it's, you know, so we have, I suppose this is the Sheriff of Nottingham portrayed in the kind of judge's stand, and there's other characters with mannequins. That'll be Snake, or it's saying about Sir Hiss from the 1973 Disney adaptation of Robin Hood. So it's kind of a fun little thing in here. And this is another room where it is a mixture of actual, genuine historical artifacts and things that are very clearly props, like, you know, this golden skull and things like that. That, you know, some of this stuff is probably been put in for Halloween as well. You know, you got a fun little taxes ledger there. There's obviously, you know, that's a new thing. It's not historical. But then you've got this old-fashioned weight scales here, which would be, you know, that's genuine. And you've got an old cage here. I suppose this is a gibbet cage. People would have been basically locked in these things and left to kind of rot and die, depending on their crimes. You got the stocks. We were actually told when we got here that the stretching rack is actually a World War I stretching rack. So, okay, that's a car on the road outside of the building. That's what that noise is. And I am just starting to ramble now, so I will get on with my investigation. So I'm going to start off just with the lights on to start with and say if there is anything in this room to communicate with me using the boxes that I've placed on the stalls if you can step forward. It's bizarre. All the other rooms I felt like there's presences in. This room I'm not getting anything at the moment. But that might be because things may have wandered off into different rooms out of curiosity about other things that are going on. But I might find I turn the lights off and get a completely different feel. So I think that was floorboards making that sound as I moved. Just double checking that. Yeah, that is floorboards. Right, so I'm just going to turn the lights off. So I'm just lit up by my torch, and then I'm going to turn that off as well. You know, probably about to change the atmosphere in here slightly. I don't feel like there's anything in here right now, which is rather bizarre. I think this room is very kind of prop based, if I'm honest. I think there are a few genuine artefacts in here, but I think it is just a few, and I'm not entirely sure that there's any attachments to them. I think they are just historic artefacts with, you know. So I'm going to call out. I'm going to say, hello, my name's Fran, and I'm a paranormal investigator, and I would like to see if I can communicate with anything that is in this room. So if you are of the spirit world and would like to communicate with me, please do step forward towards the boxes on the stalls. What's really weird is my attention seems to be brought towards, and it's an obvious Halloween prop that is on the ceiling of this room, but I feel like something was bringing my attention to this daft prop, because something was going to make it move. Now, as I've said, it is stopped, so I'm going to turn my torch off. So, you know, and as I've turned my torch off, I swear I heard a click. It wasn't my torch. So you come to play now. If you're there, please step forward and make one of the devices that is in front of you light up.
Okay, so I've switched to another room. This is kind of like the witchy room, I guess. Torture room, judge, jury and executioner. Well, there he is. So I've got the REM pod set up on the judge's stand. So Chris has been in here before me. Now he's been doing a live investigation, live over on our Facebook page. And I don't know if he's picked up on much or if much happened, because we haven't sort of shared. Now I've got the K2 in my hand. Is it? There it is. And I was going to place it on this torture chair and try to do this so you can see, but as you can see I'm moving it around, no activity, and then I pop it here, and as soon as I let go and move away it starts going crazy. Alright, so of course it doesn't because I'm filming. Oh no, there you go. all the way up to orange. Now I know some of these, some of the items in this place are just props, things that are used for movies or replicas, but there are certain items that are genuine artifacts. Whether this is a genuine medieval torture chair, I couldn't tell you. It does look a bit worse for wear in places. Wouldn't want to sit on it anyway, would you? So you've got little shackles for your ankles. Oh. What I find bizarre is it starts going crazy, but as soon as I pick it up, nothing. Nothing at all. Put it down. Pick it up. I don't know if I get much vibes in this room though, if I'm honest. And this one's full of all the kind of creepy things. Well, I suppose I'll do some calling out. So, oh, I was going to say the chandelier's moving, but it's because I literally just banged my head on it. If there are any spirits here, can you make yourself known? Sorry, I just saw a shadow on the walls trying to work out if it was mine or not. But it's actually one of the mannequins, I think. Didn't move anyway. You come forward and let me know that you're here. Make a sound. Can you move something? There's a little black box on top of the judge's stand. Can you set that off for me? All you have to do is step near it. And it will go off, it will make a sound. And that's how I'll know that you're here. I swear to God that mannequin just moved. Let me grab the camera. That one. I swear he moved. Can you make a sound for me so that I know that I'm not alone here? There's a little bit of a noise over there then. Excuse me. Please try the helmets and the other things on this table. Do you want to see me wear a helmet, guys? Wow, my God, they're fucking heavy. Okay. Hopefully you'll see me. 1 second. Suits me. It is seriously heavy though. had a little bit of activity in here. Well, Chris has been doing a live investigation, and people on the live are seeing this guy. They're seeing his hand move. So whilst I was in here before I started my recording, whilst we were on live, you could actually see the chain that's around him moving. I don't think it's moving now. I think that's just because I'm not holding the camera very steady. But I've put the K2 meter on him, and apparently he's not the friendliest. And people are picking up on the live that he's not very respectful of women, so be interesting to see if he's got anything to say to me. So I'm not afraid of you. It's going to take a lot for you to scare me. So why don't you do something so that I know that you're here? Again, I'm in pitch black darkness, so if I can see if I can turn night vision off. No, it won't let me whilst I'm recording. But, so literally, if I stop the recording a second, and that is without the night vision on, so you can see, well, you can't see anything because it's literally pitch black. Then you can see one of my devices there. That's my vibration detector, and I'm pointing at the monk now, and you can't see a thing. So let me stop that again and go back into night vision. And we're back. So we've had no activity as of yet on the K2. Nothing on the vibration sensor. I've got like a burning sensation on the right hand side of my face is the only thing. Well, I wouldn't say burning, it just feels very warm on that side of my face. But the rest of the room does feel icy cold compared to the rest of the rooms in the building. This is definitely the coldest. And there is, compared to the last room I was just in, there is definitely more of an atmosphere in here. So, Friar, do something. Do you want me to leave the room? You're gonna need to make me leave. You're gonna need to scare me. Oh shit. It just sounded like somebody sat on the bench next to me. Oh shit. It just sounded like somebody sat on the bench next to me. And it has gone icy cold right next to me, right here. But did you hear that? I mean, I'm sitting as still as possible, and the bench creaked as if somebody had sat next to me. If that's you sat next to me, can you do something else to make a sound? To let me know that you're here? It is like friggin' ice next to me, honestly. See, I've got an urge to stand up, but Chris told me not to turn my back on him, and I'm just kind of don't want to because he is kind of freaky. But I really want to stand up and walk over there. I've got an urge to do so. There's a big mirror there. I've got an urge to look into it as well. And anyone who knows me knows that isn't me. So why do I want to do that? Is he trying to influence me to do that? Oh, Jesus Christ. It is like I'm surrounded by like a ball of freezing cold air. Light up the device. I can't even speak properly. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? It was like a groan or a creak. So what is it? Why are you so unfriendly? Why do we all get the vibe that you're unfriendly? I'm sure the K2 just flickered then. Can't be sure, but I swear it did. Our Dyson rods are underneath the bench, so if I want them I'm going to have to stand up to pick them up. Because I dropped them when I walked in the room and it rolled under the bench. Come on, make a sound. Okay, thank you. Can you do that again? It is, I mean, I'm sitting as still as I possibly can. I've got my feet firmly planted on the floor. And I'm literally sat as still as I possibly can. Yet at the side of me, at the end of the bench, I keep hearing creaks. As if there's somebody sat there that keeps moving. Just heard tapping from that corner again. You know when you get that feeling as well, like if you've walked through spider webs but you literally haven't walked through spider webs. I keep getting that in here. Like as if it's crawling over my skin. I suppose that could be like a spirit touching you. Or just the like energy in the room. I'm not really sure. I might head out of the room. I feel reluctant to move this way because this is the way that I keep feeling the icy patch. And I don't want to turn my back on the geyser. But I suppose I'm going to have to. It's because Chris freaked me out by warning me not to. Everyone on the live was like, don't turn your back on him, Shell. And I'm looking in the mirror. I've kind of got over my fear of mirrors now, I think. Yeah, So, I mean, if you're a paranormal investigator, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that sometimes you just go into a room and it has such a feeling that you just can't wait to get out of it, no matter whether something happens or not.
We've got a monastery type feel in this room. We have a friar, who, according to the owner, this mannequin is known to move, and a woman who was kind of working here went into this corner because there used to be sort of light switching things down there. She'd gone to turn stuff on and felt like this cheeky chappy right here had pinched her on the bottom, and then she felt like she could never turn her back on him. So that's the story behind that guy that we've been told. So, you know, it's just a nice little setup, I suppose, to look like a monk's room. And there's a mannequin of a nun in the corner, not being told anything about her or the outfit. Don't really feel like there's anything that's coming from her. Don't know if you just get a kind of feeling off the monk because of the way he looks, or whether there is something or someone that has attached themselves to him. I do get some serious feelings from this chappy right here. So I'm going to set up some equipment around him and then call out, see if he responds to me, see if I get any communication from him, because I am, you know, I think more paranormal stuff I do, the stronger my kind of mediumship becomes, where I can kind of communicate with them quite clearly without the aid of things like spirit boxes and other things. I'm just going to sit here, I'm going to start calling out, see if we capture anything, either sound or visual. So what's really weird is like now I've set everything up there, I actually feel like there's something on towards the bed and the mirror, more than anything else. But nevertheless, whoever is in this room with me, I feel like this is a bit of a cheeky chappy, not just from what we thought, I feel like there's a prankster in this room. I feel like that's kind of being confirmed to me, that yes, there is very much, there is a prankster in this room. He likes to play tricks, move objects, people are looking for. I'm getting the letter G in my head as well to do his name. He's trying to introduce himself. Well, you know, good to meet you, sir. My name is Fran. Can you tell me? Gerald. I'm getting Gerald. Going forward, it means his name is Gerald. He's Gerald. So Gerald, can you give me a positive response for the pendulum? And I know he's a prankster. Yeah, for his yes response, he's moving pendulum diagonally, which is quite unusual. It's like he has to be seen as being different and being unusual. Okay, thank you, Gerald. And then can you give me a no response on the pendulum, please? And how you're going to move it to answer no to questions. Again, he's going for an unusual way of moving. He's circling it for no. And then, could you tell me how you're going to move the pendulum to give a maybe or unsure response? And it's a diagonal, it's the opposite diagonal to yes movements, because that's not going to be confusing at all. And I think that's why he's doing it. I think he likes to confuse people. And he's saying yes to that. He's agreeing. He likes to cause confusion. And I feel like that's connected to how he feels about things. Like I don't think he likes me saying that because now he's moving the pendulum in a completely different direction to any of the directions he's given for responses. There is a lot of background noise going on as well because it's getting quite rowdy because I suppose it's pub kicking outside locally when you're in the city centre. But Gerald, I feel like you like to cause confusion because you feel confusion yourself as to why you haven't passed over properly, why you haven't kind of reached where you thought you'd be going, or and again he's moving the pendulum in a completely different direction. I don't think you're going to respond to moving the pendulum. I think he's going to purposely move it in all different directions. There's a kind of power play. I feel like he doesn't like people like me. He doesn't like mediums. He doesn't like people that can try and suss him out and communicate with him, because I think he likes being mysterious. So can you move towards one of the boxes that I've set in this room and make the lights go off and the sounds go off? I can't really demonstrate to you how the EMF detector works because I don't produce EMF like you will. I swear, as I'm looking at the napkin, it looks as if, to me, his robes are just moving ever so slightly, as if he is breathing in and out, just very, very subtly. And I'm getting a real kind of sting in my head now, as if he's just kind of like, no, I'm not doing that. Come on. I'm being patient. And I'm getting a sting in my head again. It's no. He's going, no. I'm going to actually just pick up the camera and I'm going to film some stuff around the room and just talk about the room and then see if anything happens, if Joel tries to touch me, if he starts to move stuff in or around the room, because maybe he doesn't like direct attention and needs, other things to be happening for him to. So yeah, we've got the kind of the stories in here about Friar Tuck, which is, obviously what the mannequin is meant to represent. But as I said, you know, it's not Friar Tuck that's attached in this room and attached to this mannequin. It seems to be a man, but he was probably attached to the building. I feel it's probably attached to the building before it became a museum, and then as artifacts have been moved into the building, he is then attached himself, or it could be that he's attached to one of the artifacts that have been brought into the building, because this place is full of antiques and props. Although you've done some communication with me directly, you've kind of disappointed me that you've not really given anything on camera to kind of prove I'm not a madwoman. So I will wrap things up and I will leave you to it, as you seem to want me to do. And thank you, I guess.